Hello everyone, this is Isabel. I'm at PTC’25 in amazing Hawaii, and I'm joined by a legend of the industry. Dean Nelson is the chairman of iMasons. Dean, welcome to my hot seat yet again.
Love it. Best places in the world. Let's go.
You know you're one of my favorite victims.
Really?
Oh, yes.
You're my favorite interview. Let's go. There's so much love in this room.
So, Dean, I've seen your article in Interglobix. Tell me more about it.
Yes. So first off, this is Interglobix magazine. You guys should read this. Look at how thick that is. The content here is incredible. But I've been writing this for years. But my article is about the reality of AI. And what that means is that where we're seeing everything today, it's going to change over the next 5 years. So what's it going to change into? So it goes into those things around training, inference, and how the consumption of it, and who's going to consume what, and who's battling whom. It's a really, really interesting article, and I wanted to make sure to pass that along because everybody's enamored with all of these massive gigawatt campuses and huge investments from the biggest companies in the world. What about everybody else? The consumers of AI will be different than the consumers that are doing the actual build-outs of things today.
Very true. So, you know a lot about the industry. You're a source of information about the future. I really follow what you say and what your thoughts are. What do you expect for us in 2025?
So last time we talked, I think, was in ITW. And in there we had the State of the Industry report we were talking about. And then from that point till now, in 1 year, we've added 41 gigawatts of capacity to the pipeline. 41 gigawatts. What that means is that we're going to double the industry in 2 years. We're on track already. We've surpassed all the numbers, and we're going to triple it in 5. Triple. That is capacity all over the world. So when you think about what's going on this year, there is massive builds. You see $10, $100 billion investments going in on all these different projects all over the world, and they're all competing with each other. And now the governments are getting involved. The U.S. just announced $500 billion of infrastructure investment in AI itself. Canada has its own. Europe has its own. Like every country is doing something because they realize this is the AI arms race. If you're not in it, you lose. So that's what's going on this year. It is probably the biggest and fastest build ever in the history of our industry.
Okay. This is so exciting. It's exciting time for the industry and everyone in it. So now if we look even further, if we look in your crystal ball 10 years down the line, what do we see when we look at AI in the industry?
Let me give a little context first. So here I just told you about the numbers that are coming up. So if we're going to double and triple over the next 2 and 5 years, that is the biggest companies in the world basically building the largest clusters in the biggest data center campuses ever. Gigawatt campus type things. And the cycles of all these different GPUs coming in. But these are, again, 12 of the most valuable companies in the world. They're consuming the mass majority of the supply chain of data centers, hardware, and those things to train models primarily for them to use themselves, which is a little counter to what people would think. So if I'm going to go back and spend $150 million doing OpenAI's model, training it once, what am I using it for? I'm actually putting that back into Microsoft Azure and Office 365, et cetera, to add all the AI capabilities to make all of their users more effective. Well, the same thing with GCP and AWS and all the other platforms. They want to maintain or retain their customer base. Only way to do that is to give them the AI tools, okay? So then you look at it, well, one of the biggest challenges is that private data needs to stay private. Large language models are open, and it's a commercial thing. So if an insurance company has their trade secrets, are they going to go back and contribute something back into those models? No, because then you can say, how does that insurance company work? And in 6 seconds, I know everything about their strategy and I can repeat it. That's not working. So if you think about today, the largest companies in the world are building the biggest models, doing the biggest infrastructure. But the real consumer is not training, it's inference. We're going from 90% training, 10% inference to 90% inference by 2030. Just in the next 5 years, it's going to flip. That's because we take these models and start using them. But who's going to be the biggest consumer? Enterprise companies. It's every enterprise out there saying, how do I enhance my product and maintain, right, my protected data to give that product to my customers? So there's this, they're diametrically opposed. And unless there's isolation, which the cloud players are doing, that their data stays private, that means there's a whole bunch of repatriation and things moving back to control my data in private clouds as an enterprise, because it actually can kill my company if I don't. So if you look forward, 10 years from now, we have all these big data centers. That means every building everywhere in every city will be a data center. Think about that. Every building in every city will be a data center because digital infrastructure will be right here and we're consuming it. We're on film with digital cameras. That's going to offload to an edge server that's going to do automatic calculations and everything else and processing to immediately post it and stream it. Right here. Now imagine everywhere in the world. So there's just millions and millions of applications that we don't even know yet how AI is going to enhance it and it's going to make everybody more productive.
Dean is so amazing. You could keep talking like this for hours and hours and I would be mesmerized. But I think what you're saying is thought-provoking. So incredible. Again, an amazing interview. Next time, I hope at TW again.
Let's go. Let's go. Thank you. And thank you for what you do for the industry because you help us tell our stories. And if without this, we don't have a way to get to our audience. So everybody, we love Isabella.
And I love you guys. I mean, I'm very spoiled that you accept to do these interviews and you share openly with me and the industry. Thank you so much, Dean.
Aloha.
Everyone, thank you for watching and until my next hot shot.